Hello, my name is Abi Dalal. I'm here to present on the topic of anti-racist mindfulness and how mindfulness really spearheads our capacity for structural competency. I am a research associate and I'm working with the Center for Healthy Communities. Enough about me. I want to get right into it. So, as we all know, in the recent months, the deaths of Breonna Taylor and more have really illuminated the deep racial inequities in our country. And unfortunately, all these racial tensions and society discrimination exist in us. There's a cultural internalization. Thankfully, mindfulness allows us to become aware of this and not act on our implicit biases. We really illuminate our internal reactions and biases and have greater skillfulness to respond through mindfulness. Um, this is really beneficial when we find implicit biases in us and all manner biases in others. So mindfulness is ultimately a tool for cultivating an anti-racist way of being. As we all know, however, healthcare is a very intense environment. We it's very cognitively challenging. It's very time constrained. We're interacting with a lot of people. There might be a lot of chaos of patients crying with all around us. So with all this going on, naturally we limit the cognitive energy on our task by relying on our mental models, which really restricts our anti-racist way of being. Because we may end up treating a patient differently, for example, if they're female. Mindfulness is a way for us to be really efficient with our patients, helps us to provide the same level of care by consciously putting our mental models aside in order to best connect with whoever the patient may be. So efficient, but also very compassionate, which is necessary in today's healthcare environment. Well, mindfulness is really a training of being present. We're not concerned with the past or the future, and this is with an attitude of friendliness and gentleness. And it's kind of non-intuitive, but when we bring our attention to our internal theater, we disrupt the habitual pattern internally, which provides us with an impartiality to consider novel responses to our situations. How cool is that? So we can respond more skillfully to our own racial conditioning and that of others. Buddhist psychology is fundamentally a positive psychology. A big part of mindfulness involves beginner's mind. So we're really consciously attempting to identify our mental models, which may or may not match our territory, to put them aside, which is really, this serves as a foundation for intentional communication. We're going to have to step aside all our therapeutic lens of care to be really present with the patient. And this openness allows us to best take into account patients' lived experiences, their social context, and their diverse identities. It really deepens the tension that we bring into human interactions. For attentive, that's a foundation for compassion. We can't really be compassionate if we're not present. And in order to really hear and see the patient clearly, we got to be able to navigate our internal drama skillfully. So we don't have a lens over our patient. Mindfulness allows us to really see and hear patient as he or she is. So a big part of mindfulness is developing self-empathy. And once we do so, understand the relationship of ourselves and our circumstances, we understand others better and can connect more deeply with them. And ultimately, by giving us an empowering vista to be skillful, consider novel responses, to be really open and best take into account their identities and experiences, we can best involve patients in their own care and help them to navigate barriers to health as the result of complex cultural structures, unequal conditions. And mindfulness helps us to practice structural competency well in healthcare. I know that was a lot of information, but just to summarize it in short, mindfulness is a self-regulation cognitive management tool that furthers our anti-racist way of being. It helps us to promote patient-centered care to diverse patients because it strengthens our interpersonal intelligence. It strengthens our communication skills. And I think this is really crucial. It really strengthens our ability to continue finding vitality in patient care. And once we have that, our capacity to be structurally competent, our capacity to take more on our plate grows. Mindfulness is really the means, in my opinion, to become structurally competent and serve patients skillfully at the micro and macro levels. So I'm really excited to hear from everyone their experiences with this practice. It's really simple. Keep it simple. It can be, our minds are complicated, but life is simple. We're here to treat our patients. We are here to really discover our experience. And mindfulness is just simply returning moment to moment to our thoughts, feelings, sensations, and environment. When you practice, just do it. You may fall asleep, you may lose your concentration, you may have a total monkey mind. But this is all your experience in the present moment. Even if it sucks, it's still your practice. We're not changing it, we're just becoming aware of it. And don't worry, it will change again and again. Let's go ahead and practice here. So I invite you to find a comfortable position for your body. Have both your feet flat on the floor and have your hands resting on your lap. Maybe center your vision here on the expanding circle and invite you to follow along. So right now, go ahead and start to inhale and exhale. And just continue following along for a few more moments. It's okay to be pulled away. Let this circle and your breath be your anchor. Keep it really simple. Continue to breathe here for a few more moments. So let's go ahead and move on. I think this practice is really beneficial when you can bring it into each and every moment because each is fresh, each is unique, and it can really help us to discover our experience and step out of our habitual thinking, our patterns, our traumas, for example, and instead of being it by simply watching and observing it so we can best respond with clarity, compassion, and not with the lens of trauma, with the lens of racial conditioning, in order to best help this world. We're really here to find our experience, use experience to attain your true way, and help the world. Encourage you to be really kind. Each of us has different conditionings and circumstances. I'm really happy to be here. If you have any questions, please contact me. Thank you so much.